Hi, my name is Jenna, and welcome to my YouTube page. In this episode, I want to show pictures from when I went to the Hemet quartz mine. And I actually went two different times. And the first time that I went coming in from the bottom, from below the mine. And I never actually made it to the mine. I was with my dog, Timber, and the person that I asked to go with me. It would have been a lot to get up there. So, but I found so many interesting rocks without actually even having to make it up to the mine. And then the next time I went, I did make it up to the mine because I went back around the top. But the first pictures I want to show are from the time that I came in down from the bottom, and it was not easy to get there even from the bottom. There were a lot of really strange and unusual rocks and textures on the rocks, and a lot of them were just huge. Like, I don't know what this is on the rock or how it could have formed like that, but it almost looks like a door or an opening. And then here you can see where some of the rock was crushed, and that would be pretty hard to do. I'm not exactly sure why that is crushed like that. But a lot of the rocks seem, even in the other place that I went, it looked like somebody had shot them, and there'd be like a big round gouge taken out of the rock. And that was strange to see that again in this location. But it was the most beautiful day when I went this time. It was literally one of the most beautiful days I've ever spent on Earth. The weather was amazing, the sky, the clouds. It was just so beautiful. And it was just so fun to explore that day. So you can see the mine up there, and here I am getting closer and zooming in closer and closer to it. Never made it to this mine on this trip, but you can see, I want to just point out down below, there's, some gang signs and definitely gang activity in this area. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to go alone. A lot of the places in Hemet are dangerous because there is gang activity. But there's quartz everywhere on this mountaintop. It's so beautiful. The rocks are just stunning. Everything is just amazing there. And I've started walking around, and you can just see this big, huge piece of quartz just sitting there. It's everywhere. But some of these rocks were starting to, as I was noticing them closer, they were looking a little bit strange to me. So I started zooming in. And the other thing that you have to remember is that I am still in Hemet, and Hemet being a Bigfoot hotspot, I think once you're a Bigfoot researcher, you're always a Bigfoot researcher. I'm always looking for prints. I'm always listening. It's always in the back of my mind. I'm never going to forget to look for prints if I, came across any muddy area. And, especially being in an area that I know is going to be a Bigfoot hotspot, I had my senses and alert out, and I actually did end up finding some footprints. Not big ones, though. But one thing I was noticing, as far as Bigfoot or bears coming in towards civilization, I noticed when I was at Big Bear that the bear prints that were in the area were small bear prints. And a couple times maybe I'd see a mom and a baby bear print. So what I think happens is maybe when they're younger, it's easy to get the water and stuff, and they have to teach people about humans. And then I think once they get big enough, there's no need for them to come in so close, maybe to human habitations, because you don't really see gigantic bear prints like at Big Bear, where all the people are. But you see a lot of little ones, like they're bringing in the babies, exposing them. So I think that's the case in Hemet, because I saw so many smaller footprints. That might be a case. Like in Massacre Canyon, I'll show you later, I literally found some baby footprints, like that a baby made. They're barefoot. I don't know. But these footprints here, it's pretty weird to see them up where I was, regardless. And they're not massive though. But I did see barefoot prints up there. And it is a hot spot. So I know there's Bigfoot up there. They've been seen in the area, and there's Diamond Lake visible in the area. There's also absolutely an underground in Hemet and in this area. The mine itself has like over the 30-foot tunnel, and I'm sure that's not all. I found so much evidence of there being. I'm going to make a special episode of the evidence I found of the underground in Hemet, but there's definitely an underground here on this mountain too. And that's for sure a fact, because there is the mine, the underground mine, and it's even more extensive, I believe, because you can see just signs of it with these rocks. And so I start noticing, faces in the rocks that don't seem coincidental. And, you can go along and say that they're petrified giants or there's statues of some kind. I also found more than a few where it looks like there's two giants, like a man and a woman in an embrace. Like maybe they knew they were going to die and they just shared their last moment together, hugging. I'll even see what looks like families together, all huddled together, like in some kind of last minute looking up at the sky, knowing that something, it's going to be the end of them, and then they just become frozen in time like that. And something has happened to these rocks that has broken them up and dismembered them and just made them look like there was a disaster here or something. And, this just looks so weird. It looks like some kind of a body part or something. There's just tons and tons of strange rocks to look at everywhere on this place. This is just one of the most amazing places ever. And the rocks are just massive. They're quartz, they're granite, they're huge. And I just saw so many different rocks and textures to look at. I could not stop taking pictures. And then there was this one rock that I got in a few of my pictures that I was never able to get close to, but it's up on the top, and it's just this giant quartzy looking head staring up into space. And you can see it in this picture right here, but I have a couple others where I try to focus in on it. But there's like little entrances to maybe some underground things. I don't really know, but it's very strange there. Just the feeling there is just very creepy, eerie, and it's scary there. And all of Hemet has like this creepy, scary vibe. You could say it's Bigfoot related. You could say it's gang related. You could say it's cougars. Hemet is dangerous. There's a lot going on in Hemet. And I think that there's a lot of secrets in Hemet and a lot overlooked. And this just looks like this woman with her knees up and her hands around her knees, and she's just looking up into the sky, like maybe for the last time. These could be statues that were man-made and man-carved, and they're just so old, and they've just been through some sort of cataclysm that you can see what they were, but it's not as obvious as it is in other places what these things are. And there seems like they were kind of melted together and broken and earthquake or a flood, or I don't know. But there's faces everywhere, and they're giant. There's tons and tons of reptilian looking creatures. And, this looks like a big nose or something. I don't know. These look like noses and just giant body parts everywhere.
There was a time when Yetis lived beneath the clouds. We were alive and we were thriving till we came across a crowd. Small, that's right, we used to live down there. But there were actors we could not forgive them. And though they used a different nomenclature, They're all like that. Tell me, when you found him, did he greet you with open arms? They don't care about us. They don't care about anything but themselves, which is why we must do the same if we care about our future.
You
is that when I went to the mine, the quartz mine, the second time, I came in from above and I did make it to the mine area. But when I first got there, I just for some reason felt this need and urge to go to the very top. And it was like a burning hot day that day. It was so unbelievably hot. And I just forced myself to go to the top of the mine, and I took some interesting pictures of some rocks. And then when I got down to the bottom of the mine and entered into this amazing area, I was so hot that I really needed to put my camera away and focus on survival at that point. So, right when the pictures started getting interesting and my camera was all dirty, the lens was all sweaty, I was a mess. And I really needed to look out for myself. And, people have died from heat exhaustion in these places. So, this lizard was here for me. He was not hiding. He wanted to see what was going on and he was willing to take the chance of exposure to find out. He was big too. But this last picture is me looking out from the inside of the cave. I never made it to the underground tunnel though. I was delirious. Shade.